Okay, Taylor, I thought I'd just show you some things that we were talking about in our brief little conversation. First off, for rating, I use barbarians and archers, and what I'm looking for, just to kind of, so these are my average attacks. Sometimes I get up around here, but I mean, it makes pretty good money, and it's a really fast army to make. Um, And what I'm looking for, if you notice, these are all one-star victories, where I'm either getting the town hall or I'm getting over 50%. So, like here, let's look at this one. You have to be around the 1300 to 1500 trophy range to see these. But you see where their elixir pumps are all full? That means this player hasn't been online for a really long time, and the numbers are pretty close to even, which means there's not very much in the storage units because, well, there's about 30,000 in these elixirs storages that I'm not going to get. But I'm just going to go around the outside of the base with my troops, and I'm going to start cleaning up stuff. And I've already got the town hall, so I don't have to clean up stuff. All I really have to do is go for this. In a normal attack, you always want to activate the clan castle and the king, lure them to a corner and shank them. But in raiding, it doesn't really matter, especially this type of raiding. I'm just going to lure them out here to an edge, and then I'm going to have some barbarians act as meat shields while my archers shank him. And anyhow, I search. It usually takes me about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to find a place like this, and you get massive amount of resources from it. Like, I clean that place up, and there's lots of places like that in this area, in this trophy range. Ooh, someone gave me a barbarian. That was nice of them. I got my clock cleaned. Okay, and then elixir isn't nearly as valuable as gold. And the reason for that is that the only thing you can spend elixir on is upgrading troops and building up your barracks, and then everything else you spend gold on. So what ends up happening is that you have all this extra elixir and not enough gold, because whenever I get gold, I put it into my walls or I put it into my defensive building, and they all cost like a lot of gold. Like that's 2 million gold that costs. This costs 1 million. This costs 2 million. All my elixir upgrades at most cost 2 million. They just don't cost very much. Like Pika takes 3 million, so that takes a lot, but everything else doesn't really cost like a whole lot, and I have plenty of time to accumulate it. Sometimes I'll put my town center out on the edge, and I'll put an elixir storage out there, and the first Yahoo that sees it will take it, and I don't really care if I lose elixir. I just get tons of it anyways. So now I want to show you the clan wars. I donated dragons to everyone, and then for people with 15, I gave them a Valkyr and barbarians, because the Valkyr blends into the barbarians and fulfills people's clocks. So now looking at them, I want to show you why these guys are going to get absolutely destroyed. That's going to go down in like half a second. This I'm gonna lightning that one down, and then this is gonna go down in half a second, and then the dragons are just gonna sweep this whole freaking field. I'll release them. I'll release 5 here and 5 here, and this whole thing is just gonna get turned into mincemeat. There's 4 secret mines, so I'm gonna lose 4 dragons, but I'll have 6 dragons when this is all said and done, maybe 5. Everything in here is just gonna get absolutely destroyed. Either whichever one of us, John or I, that attacks that's like a handout. It's candy. So their number 2 player, he has all of these close together. However, these are kind of low level. This is a 4, which is a little bit better. I'll lightning that one down, or John will lightning that one down, and then I'll use archers around the outside here and take all those out, and I'll release all my dragons. They'll go straight for these wizards towers and these drills. And then when they're done there, the next thing closest will be these 2 units. The group here next closest will be this air defense, and once that's down, the rest of the space will fall so quickly. And if these were a higher level, it'd be a lot more difficult, but they're not. So it just looks scary, but it's not really. Well, it's really cool that she has an archer queen. However, it's not going to save her. There's only 2 air defenses here. I mean, that one's going to get lightning down, and then I'm just going to drop I'm going to drop probably 5 dragons right here first. They're going to clean up this first line. Then once that first line's down, I can drop dragons here, and the nearest unit will be the air defense, and they'll go right for it and take it out, and then it's game over. There's 4 secret mines, but against 10 dragons, the math just isn't there. And John's really good at dragon attacks, so he's going to, everything I'm saying and thinking right now, he sees and he realizes, and he's going to do it, or he's going to do something that's even better or just as good. So these top 4 players that I'm showing you right now, they are all going to get 3-star by John and I. So this one, these are really low level, and if I just, machine gun threw dragons out in random places, I'd probably end up winning this one too. What I think I'm going to do, if I do attack this one, it doesn't really matter which one I lightning down, but I think I'll lightning down this one, and then I'll drop dragons here, and I'll drop dragons here, and they'll clean out these and get to their defenses and clean them out, take out the town hall, and it'll just be a clean sweep. That one will be easy. And then the bottom 6 players aren't really that good. And actually, none of their players are really that good, because like if you look at like Connors, Chad Connors, Tyler Heine, Tyler your boy Oni, these guys are gonna freaking just go to town on Joey, the best, Rostafire. I think the best is actually pretty good, but they're just gonna get absolutely destroyed. So looking over here at Sin and Tank people and Holly, people that you'll probably be able to own on based on what you have. You can drop units anywhere. So this is a freebie. You can drop a few units, kill the town hall, guarantee 1-star. You can drop a few units, take out the air defense there. Drop a few units, take out that air defense. And then you can just use giants and healers to go the rest of the distance. And if you put wizards behind the giants, you'll and let the giants tank all the damage, the wizards will just knock them out. Wizards are really high DPS, and everything should get cleaned up pretty nicely. You should for sure 2-star it, maybe 3-star. So let's look at the next one. So there's 1 air defense there. What I would suggest doing, he has really low level walls though, is dropping all your giants right here. They'll take out this. The next closest building will be this. They'll take out that air defense. Right about here, they'll take some damage from the wizard when they go through this pass. The mortar will be hitting them. They'll be taking some damage. If you drop a heal spell, by the time they get to this air defense, it'll bring them all back up to health. They'll take out the air defense. You'll drop in healers. They'll clean up the rest of these buildings. Put some wizards here in this corner. They'll just start working their way up. By the time the giants get over here, the wizards will be done with this corner down here, and they'll be joining the fight, and they'll mop up those in the town center, and that'll be not too bad. Oh, actually, I want to go back to these. I'm forgetting the #1 rule when you're doing these battles. These clan castles, it says 0 out of 15 right now, but if you click on it when you're scouting and you see troops in there, the first thing you want to do, is you want to drop a few units at the edge, and you want to get all the troops out, get them either away and then lightning them. Like you can drop another unit over here, and then they'll chase that unit, and then they'll get in a pile, and you just lightning them all down. Or you drop barbarians and archers and kill them all off. Because when your giants are romping through this area over here, those clan castle troops will get activated, and they'll come down, they'll kill your giants, and then it's just your wizards, which don't have very much HP, and they will get owned, even though that base doesn't look like it has much. So this guy, I don't know what to say about this guy because he really doesn't have anything. Everything's really low level as far as defenses go. He should just be a breeze. So those are my thoughts, looking to size them up. I do want to show the best because I think when I was looking through my preliminary scouting, he actually looks decent, if I remember right. I didn't remember right. Oh, I know why. Because he had dragons. He has dragons, and that made me. And he has decent level laboratory and 4 builders, so that made me think that he was going to be okay of a fighter, and he just hasn't been playing for very long. However, he should be a pretty clean sweep. Freaking Connors or Tyler DuBois, Tyler Heine Pantars, one of them will just murder this guy. Yeah. So those are my thoughts.